One of the questions I get asked all the time is, Raul, can the edge be transferable? Can somebody give you the edge? And the answer is no. See, the edge, you either have it or you don't have it. And if you have the edge, you know the feeling. The edge is that energy, that determination, that feeling of being guided to execute at a higher level. See, what most men know that they have an edge, but they don't know is what kills their edge. Because just because you had an edge one day doesn't mean you're gonna have an edge forever. You have to develop your edge. You have to continue to find your code to the edge. But in order for you to do that, you have to find what kills your edge. So in this video, you're gonna find what kills your edge. I'm gonna continue to sharpen it so you can go to the next level. See, having the edge is not chasing perfection, but pursuing progress. And that's what you have to understand. If you wanna have the edge, you have to be committed to pursuing progress. Perfection, pursue progress, because you cannot improve if you don't measure your progress. Every single day you have to ask yourself, what can I improve? And every single week, you're gonna be able to look back in the last 7 days and see what are some of the things that you could do in order for you to get better. At the end of the month, you look back and you celebrate your wins and you see what can you improve. Most important, you have to identify what kills your edge. That's what we're gonna talk about today. We're gonna talk about what kills a man's edge, because in order for you to improve what kills your edge, you have to identify the leaks. You have to ask yourself, what is the thing that keeps me from sharpening my edge? What are my leaks that stop me from going to the next level? So let's take a look at a few leaks that identified in the past 10 years by coaching businessmen, by coaching entrepreneurs, by coaching high achievers, making sure that they keep their edge. Because unless you understand what kills the edge, you're not gonna be able to prevent them. The first thing that kills a man's edge is being in the comfort zone. Being comfortable and being bored. That's what kills a man's edge. See, the moment that you think you arrived, you already lost. The moment that you think you made it, the moment that you think you already got it, you already lost. Why? Because you stopped growing. Because if you're not growing, you're dying. So the moment that you're comfortable, the moment that you're bored, you begin to lose your edge. See, the energy that a man has when he's going somewhere is contagious. You have to make sure that you keep that energy, that you continue to show up as a man who has the edge, a man who's going somewhere, because if you don't have that energy that's contagious, you have the energy that's dragging people down, that's becoming a pessimistic, that is talking shit, that's becoming a victim, because that is what brings you to the second thing, which is guilt and shame. So I found that guilt and shame is what kills a man's edge. Guilt and shame is poison for the soul, because this is the lowest level of energy. The moment that you have guilt and shame, it's just a matter of time that you become a victim of your circumstances, you start blaming other people. Understand, the moment that you start living on guilt and shame, you're always going to attract people who are going to validate the story, because it's impossible for you to build momentum if you live with guilt and shame and it's dragging you down. That's why we have to make sure that we are present to the fact that if we allow our mind to take us to a place of guilt or shame, then it's dragging us down because we can't move forward. The third thing that kills a man's edge is playing the comparison game. And I see this all the time. Men play the comparison game because it makes you feel good. So you just define where you are. You play a comparison game because you want to compare yourself to other people that are doing worse than you. So you feel good because you're not doing as bad as somebody else. But at the same time, the moment that you compare yourself with other people that are doing better, then you feel worse. Because now life is not as good as how other people have it. So either or, every single time, you lose this game. And number 4 is sedating pain or stress. This is why I believe most men that have stress, they have pain, this is the go-to place to lose the edge. See, the moment that you're being consumed by pressure, it is easier for you to sedate the pain instead of facing your pain. It's easier for you just to say, listen, I don't have any stress, I don't have any pain, let me just drink a little bit too much, or let me just watch too much porn, or watch movies, or overwork. Anything that takes you away from facing your current reality and doing something about your reality is sedation. Well, because you don't want to feel the pain. And the only thing you're doing is putting Band-Aids. And the more Band-Aids you put on, eventually the wound is gonna get bigger. Eventually you have to face your pain, you have to face situations, but it's impossible for a man to have the edge if he continues to sedate. Because eventually you become numb. And then you're gonna start thinking that you have no pain. See, that's the worst place to be. To meet a man that's numb. To meet a man that doesn't feel anything anymore. So you have to understand this in order for you to prevent this, because you want to know, what stage am I in? Am I losing my edge? Or what's killing my edge? Is the numbness killing your edge? Is the sedation killing your edge? Is the comparison game killing your edge? Because another version is settling for playing small. See, the moment that you feel numb, then you settle. You settle to play small. You settle for what you have. I see every single time that I meet a man that settles is because he's afraid of failure. That's what usually happens. Your fear of failing is keeping you playing at this level. See, settling for less from what you know you could achieve is a way of giving up. I want you to let that sink in. The moment that you settle for less than what you know you could achieve, less what you know you could do, is a form of giving up, is a form of quitting. Because now you tell yourself a story, you know what, this is as good as it's gonna get. And you tell yourself the story that, man, I don't have to do it. I don't have to go all in. I don't have to push myself. Man, I already have enough. I'm already good. And you settle. See, I'm not talking about, pushing yourself and not being satisfied or being fulfilled. That's a different conversation. You have to be fulfilled. You have to be proud of what you created. You have to enjoy the fruits of your labor, but don't fucking settle. Because settling is giving up. The moment that you appreciate what you have, and you ask yourself, what's my next level? What's my next level? What else can I do? Because the last one is lack of purpose. And this is what happens when men settle. They lose their purpose, they lose their drive. And a man's purpose is to lead and level up. The moment that you stop leading, you lost your purpose. See, the problem is that most men don't want to lead. Most men want the government to lead for them. Most men want their women to lead them. Most men want everybody else to lead, but they don't want to lead because they don't want to take responsibility of being the leader. See, you're either part of the problem of men who are waiting for somebody else to lead, or you're part of the solution saying, I am a fucking leader. Put me in, coach. I'm ready to lead. I'm ready to do my part. I'm ready to play bigger. I'm ready to level up. So you have to understand what kills the edge in order for you to continue to maintain sharpening your edge. Because the moment you understand what kills the edge, then you can start looking at what are the threats so you can anticipate not losing your edge. See, that's a conversation that we all need to have. What are the leaks that prevent me from sharpening my edge? And what are the threats that could possibly make me lose my edge? Because that's the question I ask myself every single time. What could stop me from going to the next level? What could stop me from producing at the level that I want to produce? What could stop me from fulfilling my purpose? So when you start getting real with these conversations, man, you start really unpacking, looking under the hood, and you start working on yourself so you could prevent this shit from happening. See, when I put myself to this exercise, I could put systems and processes ahead of this and ask myself this question. So the first question is betrayal. How are you going to show up when people betray you? I have to ask yourself, who will cause you the pain if they betray you? Who do you need to think about? If this person betrays me, man, that will be painful. If I lose their trust, that must be painful. So the moment that you start looking at who are the people closest to you, that if they betray you, man, that could cause you to lose your edge, then you could start putting in the work so this doesn't happen. See, for me, and I had this conversation just this past week with my wife, I said, you know what? If my wife betrays me, that could be like one of my daggers for me. That could be one of those kryptonites. So I need to make sure that I put in the work so we have conversations so this doesn't happen. So you have to bring into the light the shit that you're afraid to say, the shit that you're afraid to think in order for you to actually become better. The reason that we don't want to talk about this stuff is because, I don't want to manifest into existence. I don't want to talk about this shit. How are you going to prevent it if you don't see it? If this could be a cause, if losing your edge could be a cause of betrayal of somebody that you love and you trust and you admire, betraying your trust, if this could cause you to lose the edge, wouldn't you want to have those conversations? Wouldn't you want to prevent it? Wouldn't you want to do everything in your power so this doesn't happen and prepare yourself mentally? That's one thing for you to think about. The second is sickness. And we've all been there. We got a sickness and we feel pain and we have a disease. So the question is, how are you taking care of yourself? Are you truly giving yourself the space that you need for you to feel healthy? Are you truly taking care of yourself? The third is failure. Man, what if I fail, man? What would they say if I'm a failure? Well, how will you react if you have to start all over? How will you react if you have to start all over and then you have nothing? Would that cause you to lose the edge? And the fourth is ego. So what prevents you from listening to a higher voice? What prevents you from thinking that you cannot be guided? See, all those conversations are based on fear. And if you read the book, Outwitting the Devil, you know that the devil is talking to you and whispering in your ear all those fears of not being loved, fears of failure, fears of not having enough. And then the devil wants to convince you that you are the one, as opposed to tapping into a higher power. See, that's what gives me the opportunity for me to sharpen my edge, knowing that there are leaks that I need to work on. There are threats that are out there in the door. I need to protect myself. But at the same time, there are opportunities. See, that's the part that gets me excited, because now I know what's the opportunity that I have right now for me to sharpen my edge. How can I use, instead of being afraid of my threats, instead of running away and just hiding my leaks, how can I take advantage of the opportunities that are in front of me so I continue to sharpen my edge? And what opportunity that is in front of you is connection. How can you connect to your vision? How can you connect to a deeper cause? How can you connect to a higher power? So the moment that you feel connected, you sharpen your edge. And every single one of us, we have the same opportunity to feel connected. Every single time that you feel connected to a higher purpose, a higher cause, you feel that energy inside that's telling you that no matter what happens, you're gonna figure shit out. The second opportunity that you have is contribution. We all have these opportunities to contribute, to bring value, to share our insights, to share our failures. The moment that you bring contribution into the world, life is gonna give you exactly what you're willing to give life. Who can I help to get close to the vision? Because the moment you start taking your problems off of you and focusing on somebody else to help, the game changes. You start realizing that there is perspective, that you're not as bad as you thought you were. The third opportunity is vision. How can I sharpen my vision? How can I create a clearer picture of my vision? Who can I share my vision with? And what am I doing to get closer to my vision? So we all have this opportunity for us to create a bigger vision, to paint the vision, to start dreaming, because the moment that you get around other people that have a vision that's worth fighting for, you will get energized. You will sharpen your edge. And therefore, is get around dreamers. That's the opportunity that we have, to be around men who have a dream, who have a purpose, who have a mission, because that is contagious. If you feel like you're losing your edge, you have to be around other people that have the edge, because it's just a matter of time that you sharpen it. Because who am I spending with is exactly who I'm going to become. See, we're gonna lose the edge at one time unconsciously. I know, because when I lost my edge, it was an unconscious behavior, unconscious thought. I didn't even know what the edge was. It was unconsciously. But if you want to gain your edge back, you want to sharpen your edge, you have to make a conscious effort. It has to be by design. It has to be consciously a choice every single day. To sharpen the edge requires for you to find the leaks, to find the threats, but most important, to take advantage of the opportunities that you have in front of you. Because unless you take advantage of opportunities that you have in front of you, you're going to run around in circles, wishing and hoping that somebody comes to save you. See, I don't know about you, but I know that if I focus on all the negative things that are out there in the world, that's exactly what I'm going to attract. And I know that if I'm speaking negativity, if I'm speaking the victimhood mentality, I'm only going to attract victims into my life. But if I'm not putting my guard up against the threats that are coming, the enemy that's coming to the door, it is on me. So I need to make sure every single day I am diligent. Every single day I am conscious. I am watching what I say. I am watching my thoughts. I'm making sure my focus is sharp based on where I'm going, not where I've been. So I could let go of guilt and shame, and I focus on who am I becoming. Because the moment that you start focusing on your vision, the moment that you start focusing on the mission that you have, the moments that you have that desire to become a better man, a better leader, you're choosing every single day consciously, and you're making a conscious choice to fucking lead. Because you realize that most men, that's not what they want. Most men are looking for leaders, and you have been chosen to lead. So why is it that you continue to doubt? We have to program ourselves every single day, because this doesn't happen overnight. It happens every single day. And every single day, no matter how hard you've been doing the work, no matter how motivated you are, no matter how successful you are, life isn't a punch in the face. And every single day, you have a choice. Am I going to sharpen my edge, or am I just going to wing it? And if you're going to wing it, it's going to be luck. You're going to rely on luck. Every single day, I have to build a man that's going to fulfill his mission. Every single day, I have to build a man that's going to be a leader. But sometimes I don't feel like building that man. Sometimes I may wake up with fear, doubt, insecurities, even guilt and shame. But those are the times that I have to consciously make a choice and make a decision to choose to step in faith, to choose to do the work, to choose to stop listening to that little voice in my mind that's constantly leaking energy, and choose to put in the work to make sure that the threats that are at the door don't become a reality. You've been called to lead. Stop listening to that voice of doubt, guilt, and shame, and begin to listen to that voice that's telling you, this is your time. Now is the time. Nobody's coming to save you. but people are looking for you to lead because the best is yet to come. So now that you know what kills the edge, it's time for you to choose your enemies wisely. So click on this link here to watch a video that I did of how to choose your enemies wisely based on the book by Patrick Bet-David, because now it's time for you to sharpen your edge by choosing your enemies wisely.